everyone, I'm Alina Thailander, and I'm really excited to have you here for this new episode of VCF Breakroom Chats. I'm a product marketing engineer for VMware Cloud Foundation here at Broadcom, and my area of expertise is cloud infrastructure automation, and more specifically, my focus is on VCF automation. Today, I want to chat about something that's becoming a big deal in the IT world, and that's how traditional VI admins, those folks who've been managing virtualized data centers for ages, can step up and become real cloud heroes. We're talking about launching and managing multi-tenant private clouds, even if you have to start from scratch with infrastructure automation. And to help us unpack this transformation, I'm so thrilled to have Maher Al-Assaf with us today. Maher is a product marketing engineer, also focused on VCF automation. He's been here with us for 10 plus years, and what I like most about him is that he has this amazing grasp of the topic and can navigate both the big picture strategies, but also the nitty-gritty details. Together, we'll talk about the typical challenges that VI admins face, how modern automation tools can really make a difference, and basically what it takes to get a secure, a scalable multi-tenant private cloud up and running. So, grab your coffee, sit back, and let's get into it. Welcome, Maher.
Thank you so much, Elena. Happy to join you today.
Okay, so as I mentioned a minute ago, many VI admins face quite a lot of challenges with, manual provisioning and in general lack of automation experience. Can you help us and maybe describe what are the biggest pain points that they seem to encounter today?
Absolutely. The challenges we see today when it comes to manual provisioning really goes around things like manual request fulfillment, no self-service, you have ticket-based delays, and overall inconsistent experience. You have also form and template sprawl. You have golden images everywhere, manual customization, and very limited standardization when it comes to images and configuration, for example. Also, limited policy-driven provisioning. So there is a big gap when it comes to governance and error handling and rework. So things like failed request, which pushes the virtual infrastructure administrator to do redo cycles and wasted cycles, time and money, etc. But if I summarize everything I kind of mentioned and touched on, I would say the biggest consumption pain points for virtual infrastructure administrator and users today are around speed, consistency, user experience in provisioning. And without automation today, to be honest, provisioning is going to be always slow, manual, ticket-driven, error-prone, and completely disconnected from the modern developer expectations that we have today.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Now, how does the, VCF automation help these VI admins overcome the challenges and truly evolve into these cloud admins?
Yes, that's the $1 million question. A great question. So this is exactly where VMware Cloud Foundation Automation 9 today and its ecosystem changes the game for virtual infrastructure admins and help them become the next or true heroes, like you said, as cloud admins. And how we address this is today is really goes along how the market or the trend towards using declarative Kubernetes style APIs to consume infrastructure today is going. It's a really rise trend towards that kind of consumption model. And VMware Cloud Foundation 9.0 is very much aligned with that trend, where we introduce several capabilities that implements and extend this declarative infrastructure and the unified API paradigm so that you can consume infrastructure easily and deploy all types of applications, whether traditional, microservice application, modern application, using that same UI API or command line via those declarative Kubernetes manifests through this modern cloud interface that are built into VCF Automation 9 to enable that exactly. So, in summary, really, VCF Automation will transform provisioning from being manual, from being error-prone process into a self-service and policy-driven multi-cloud experience, which also lets VI admin, by the way, focus less on clicking through UIs and more on really putting the time and effort into designing the ultimate cloud platform.
Awesome. Um, my third and I guess my last question, um, I wanted to see if you could give us a glimpse into how a developer can provision a VM in VCF Automation 9.
Absolutely. Let me jump into a live environment here and show you a few things. So here we're logged into the VCF Automation portal, and we're providing the organization name that we know we are a member of. And simply, I'm going to log in as the developer Mary here in this example, using her Active Directory credentials. When the developer logs in, they have right away a landing page where it shows them, for example, the number of projects they are a member of and the namespaces or environments they have access to, and also access to the services that they are able to interact with, like, for example, the virtual machine service, the Kubernetes service, the networks, volumes, and of course, these services can be extended depending on the provider or what the provider allows the organization. So, for example, if in the future the organization needs a database service, the provider can provide that into them, and it will be available for them within the same services sort of a window here. So for this specifically demo, I'm going to just show you the service overview page. This is what Mary have access to in terms of services. So for this demo, we're just going to make it quick, simple, and easy. We're going to go and provision a MySQL virtual machine. So we click on the virtual machine service. We click on create VMs. We select the source of the VM so we can provision from an OVF, which is the open VMware format, or the ISO, and click next, provide the VM name that we want and the destination zone that we want this VM to be provisioned into. And then, of course, the image that we want and the t-shirt sizing or the VM size or VM class, we call it. The VM image and the VM class are basically configured as the organization enforces or make those available to the application team. So they are, you can think of this as a guardrail way of introducing the images and the standards that we want our developers or cloud consumers to use. Also, because this is going to be a MySQL, I can use the advanced settings here and attach, for example, additional disks for my database. And also, I want to expose some of the services. And for that, I'm going to create a load balancer, which is really exposes things like I want to be able to SSH into the virtual machine. And because this is going to be a MySQL sort of a workload, I want to also enable the MySQL port on port 3306. I'm going to add those and then I move on to the bootstrapping. And this is where really there is two types of kind of experiences here for low-tech users and high-tech users. Like you can use the guided inputs. Well, here we're going to go all out and just simply go in and be able to dump our user data or cloud config data. Here we have all the different packages we want to install, the users we want to create on the VM, and the commands we want to execute to set up our MySQL sort of a server. Also, at the end, we can choose from the number of network interfaces we want to add, and then and select the network that we want to attach this VM to. And that would be, for example, let's say we want to connect it to a public subnet that has access to the external networks. And then once we're ready, we can go in and download all the generated infrastructure as code manifest. Those manifests can be used by CI/CD tools or can be stored in source control repos like GitHub and GitLab for really a true DevOps experience. Once we're ready, we can go and download if we want all the manifest in a zip file, and so we can use them later. And once we're ready, we can go and click to deploy our VM. The VM, once it's ready, it's up and running. We see its status. We see that it has, is powered on. It has an IP. We can access its console, whether we're using the remote console or the web console. And then if we go back to the our summary page in terms of the services tile that we have access to, we see we have now one virtual machine that we can manage and interact with and connect to the database that we built on. So that's basically just a quick glimpse of the UI user experience, by the way. But if you want to see more, I have something to add at the end.
Awesome. Wow, it's been a really great chat so far, and it really feels like, going from VI admin to becoming a cloud hero.
Exactly.
Kind of overwhelming at the beginning, right? But honestly, it feels like if you have the right tools and the right approach, it can really be a game changer. So um, I feel like having something like a VCF automation can really simplify things, make life easier. And I can already think of, some immediate benefits, efficiency, security, and, one also very important benefit, keeping the developers happy.
Exactly.
I know I said I had no more questions for you, but before I wrap up, I wanted to see if you have any final thoughts or advice, for these VI admins who are just starting on their journey.
Absolutely. I would say that we are super excited about VCF Automation 9. We have a new way of consuming infrastructure using that declarative API with VCF Automation 9. I would encourage our customers to take the time to check it out and subscribe to the VCF YouTube channel and look for the VCF Automation 9 series for more in-depth video on how to get started utilizing VCF Automation 9 in your organization.
Awesome. Maher, I really, really appreciate you being here and sharing your expertise. Thank you. And also thank you for, to our audience for joining us. If you're a VI admin ready to take the next step, there's never a better time to start on your journey than today. This is your host, Alina Thailander, signing off. And until we meet again, stay bright and keep on smiling.